A famous man once said, "There is no real ending. It's just the place where you stop the story." Who said that? What does it even mean? Doesn't matter. I said it because he said it, so now he was famous, and it's basically getting said by two well-known guys. I don't... Tell you what, let's just start from the beginning.
There'll be no strings to bind your hands, not if my love can bind your heart. There's no need to take a stand, for it was I who chose to start. I see no need to take me home. I'm old enough to face the dawn. Just call me angel of the morning, angel. Just touch my cheek before you leave me, baby. Just call me angel of the morning, angel. Just touch my cheek before you leave me, baby. Just call me angel of the morning, angel.
My name is Brandon Herrera, and this is my gun, the AK-50. If you're new here, there's a few things you need to know, so let's go back to the beginning.
In the beginning, the universe was created.
Not that far. There we go, that's better. So around 8 years ago, I announced I was working on an insane task. To take an AK-47, the most iconic combat rifle in the world, and scale it up to the insanely large 50 BMG. You know, the caliber usually reserved for anti-aircraft guns, or the one Archer said could
Kill a building.
So just scaling up an AK to fire 50 BMG sounds simple enough, right? Well, if you think so, then you know as little about weapon design as I did when I decided to announce it. You see, at the time, I hadn't even dropped out of college yet, and while I had already started building AKs, I knew nothing about practical gunsmithing. So I enlisted the help of my local gunsmith, Chris Baker, and with the help of this redneck wizard, we got to work. Some of the parts we designed and had made by local companies, the rest we made ourselves with blood, sweat, and tears. But mostly blood. And by May of 2017, we had enough of an AK-50 version 1 ready to fire its first test shot. Live round. 3, 2, 1.
She's together. Full held, man.
So now step 1 was complete. The gun wouldn't explode on its first shot. Congratulations. But we're not building a single shot gun. We need to make it semi-automatic, so we need to make it cycle. So from there we added the gas system, the thing that makes AKs function. After we added gas, we were able to make it successfully extract and eject its first round.
3, 2, 1. Motherfucker! Motherfucker! Oh my god! God damn it! Fuck yeah! Fucking A!
A massive win for something that people had said was impossible.
Impossible? Now, why would that be impossible? I mean, after all, you're just scaling up a 7.62 AK to the point where it would be able to fit 50 BMG, right? Well, no. You see, that's where you run into two different issues. First one being, even though the size of the bullet is getting bigger and the size of the gun is getting bigger, the size of the person using it stays the same size. Meaning that if you just scaled it up 1-to-1, you'd end up with something that looked like this. Not something that's really usable to anybody. Not like you could, because that's where your second problem comes in. That wouldn't work anyway because of something called square cube law. Square cube law is kind of an understanding of physics that things don't scale up or down on a 1-to-1 ratio. In fact, it's a lot more dramatic. For example, doubling the size of something doesn't just double everything else, like area and volume. Those might correspond by being 4 times or even 8 times bigger. Without getting too fucking Bill Nye on you, a simple explanation of that is why an ant's feet are allowed to be super tiny and an elephant has to have 4 fucking tree trunks to be able to support its weight. It's not a 1-to-1 ratio. Then you have issues with gas volume, with relative pressures. Look, all of this to say, not as easy as making this much bigger. A lot of engineering, a lot of math to be done. But let's get back to the AK-50 timeline. I know a lot of you may not be super interested in gunsmithing and weapons technology, weapons design kind of stuff. But if you are, I hope you know you can get your start at sdi.edu using the links in the description and the pinned comment.
So to help with this engineering workload, we had a lot of help, including my Brass Valley internship program, which, among other things, is where I found my current head gunsmith, Zach, someone who would prove essential in completing the 50 project. So after redesign, after redesign, after redesign, we settled on what would be the AK-50 V2, which would go away from the heavy and expensive milled receiver in favor of an easier, cheaper, and lighter stamped receiver. And in May of 2021, we were ready to test to see if an AK-50 could actually fire and cycle consecutive rounds, which it motherfucking did.
Cycling test with a magazine. In 3, 2, 1. I felt that trigger reset. I'm sending it again in 3, 2, 1. Motherfucker!
We made it to 8 rounds in a row before it started slowing down and having hiccups. A death by a million pinpricks where a lot of tiny design flaws from pin sizes to cam groove angles, but at the end of the day, we still proved the concept. This gun could work. So now that we knew the AK-50 was possible, it was time to make the gun we actually wanted to make. Not just making the skeleton of a gun fire, but making a complete gun. From the handguard, to the dust cover and optic mount, to a few internal upgrades, it was time to make the gun that we had always wanted to make. A fully functional, fully assembled, completed AK-50. But who was capable of making some of these parts? Well, we were lucky enough to be in the greatest country in the world, Texas. Which means industry giants like Titans of CNC were in our backyard. And after finally finding a dance partner who could make our parts exactly as we needed them, the road to a finished AK-50 was clearer than ever. But we made a lot of changes to the core of the gun over the last couple of years from what we learned from the V2, and we needed to know if this new AK-50 would function as we thought it would.
How's that look?
Pretty decent, I'm not gonna hit anything there.
Cool.
Not a fitty test fire if it's not ghetto.
What are we doing?
I don't know. This feels different.
String's going on, guys. AK-50 V3 test fire. Several years in the making. First round. 3, 2, 1. That just fucking cycled. First fucking try. What the shit? Yeah, really?
So now that we knew the core of the AK-50 V3 worked, it was time to add the rest of the gun, which as it turns out, led to its own problems. Ejection issues, dust cover not fully locking, there were a lot of minor details to overcome. But after months of fine-tuning, we were finally ready to test what we considered to be a completed gun.
All right, going hot. All right, AK-50 V3 completed, assembled, test fire. In 3, 2, 1. Let's see. Oh yeah, all right. I've been waiting 8 fucking years to do that. Oh. I think that was the fastest we've ever fired it to.
I think so.
Fuck. God, who's next?
All
right. You want to give it a shot?
Sure.
I got 5 in it.
Cool. Very nice. How much?
No, it's fucking wild. It's cool shooting it with it now fully together, because now we've got this dust cover, the optic mount and everything. So we're shooting it with this, the Trijicon 50 cal optic. The hand guard lets us, you know, actually put a bipod on it so it's stable. We're not shooting it off of a bunch of fucking sandbags.
Yeah, having to, being able to actually aim it instead of looking down the barrel and making sure it's vaguely on the berm is pretty nice.
Just kind of sending it, yeah. The bipod we're actually using here is an Atlas bipod, but it's mounted using a QD Picatinny mount from Sylvan Arms. They're actually a great sponsor of the channel. Super nifty, just quick detach. So when we're doing it for transport and whatnot, it's a nice little setup. Also thanks to Kerr Ammo for hooking us up with some of this 50 cal, because testing ammo for 50 BMG is not cheap. So we appreciate them as well. But now we've loaded up a full magazine of 10 rounds because for the first time in the AK-50's history, I think she's ready for mag dumps. So this is, like I said, a long time coming. I think on the V2, we were able to get 8 consecutive rounds before it gummed up. But now I think we're just gonna send it. I think she's good. I think she's ready. Do you concur, Doctor?
Let's see what she does.
Time to find out. Time to fuck around and find out. All right, mag dump. 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah! There she is. Ah. In the words of the great warrior poet Ryan Reynolds, I'm touching myself tonight. Threat neutralized. Watching this thing run is just so sexy. You know, the only thing that would possibly make this better is some high-speed footage. Maybe some ballistic high-speed.
You see, when we had the ballistic high-speed guys in town to record our gyro jet slow motion video, we asked for their help on one more project.
3, 2, 1. Just because I've always wanted to do this. Really, the recoil's not bad. As heavy as it is, it shouldn't be. Time to shoulder fire this big heavy bitch. It's been a long time coming. So impractical, but so fucking hot. I got nothing, that was just fun.
It hasn't killed anyone yet?
Not yet, no. No thumbs needed today.
Sweet. Dude, that sounds beefy.
It is beefy.
And it cycled just like that?
Oh yeah.
You did it!
New favorite 50 cal, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. That feels really good.
It's not too bad. The recoil is not bad either.
No, that's awesome. Good job.
I feel like a proud dad.
You should. I feel like a not proud dad. None of my kids can do that.
A famous man once said, "There's no real ending. It's just the place where you stop the story." Frank Herbert was the one who said that. He wrote Dune, so put some fucking respect on his name. But anyway, that's the story of the AK-50, or at least the story so far. We've come a long way from a future college dropout in a garage to millions of subscribers and whatever the fuck this turns into. So if I were to wrap this up all tight with a bow, whatever, I guess I'd say that the AK-50 was never a distraction or a hobby. It was a starting point. And now, who knows where we'll go. All I know is that I wouldn't be here without you. Where we'll go in the future, I have no idea. But what I do know is that today we can set aside the age-old question. Where AK-50? Here AK-50.
AK-50. AK-50. They say it's gonna be done. AK-50. Look at us and we can walk. Hey, what is up, you YouTube sexy mother lovers?